Good morning. How are you guys? Lemon Nation, Lemon Heads. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show and Hot Topics. I'm so grateful and glad that you're here this morning. It is so busy. I've got so much to talk to you about, and I want to know where you're streaming from, where you're watching us from, just because I want to know. And I know a lot of you have some questions about one of my family members that I'm going to update. And I have no sound, says Big Dindy Piccolo. I don't know. Oh, good morning, everyone. So good morning from Michigan. Everybody else can hear Big Dindy. Turn up your volume. Philadelphia is in the house. So glad you're here. Los Angeles. Jamie Kinsey from LA. Germany. Alter Falter. Wow. Good morning from Antarctica. Experimental Projects. Holy schmoly. Wow, you guys are from all over. And the comments are going crazy this morning. Lots of you are in the comments. It's amazing. So the engagement is so great. It's been really great lately. So thank you so much. Hello, Amanda Belcher from St. Louis. Happy Friday, Elimination, Shirley. Happy Friday. I have not had coffee. Christian Thompson, hello. So I'm going to give you an update on my family member in just a little bit, but good morning, Don. How is Gus Gus? Nicole Miller, stand by. I'll give you an update. Let's just get to the news so that we can get it out of the way, since I'm a little bit late because we were dealing somewhat with the family member, but I will tell you what's going on. Good morning, friends. Welcome to the show. As the thumbnail says, Shutdown, Showdown. This is a very big day of news. Who knows what is going to happen? They are working on the possibilities right now. Donald Trump hasn't taken power yet, and yet Elon Musk has unleashed utter chaos on Capitol Hill. Of course, people now are still calling him President Musk. That is not me. That is Democratic lawmakers. It is catching steam with even people in the public. I've been asking. Some of them didn't know. Others are calling him President Musk. So last night, House Republicans tried and they failed to fast track a measure to keep the government funded through a maneuver that required 2/3 majority, pushing the government closer to a shutdown. We're not that far away. Look, at noon, we'll be 12 hours away. So what are we, 12? We're 11 and 45 minutes or so away, and 40 minutes away from a possible shutdown. Dozens of Republicans voted against the measure, while two Democrats voted for the measure. The thing that I'll tell you about that, the final tally was 174 in favor, 235 against, and one present. Reportedly, they're going to try again this morning, but things do not look promising. So this is the thing that got me. And I don't know if you guys can find it. If you can find it. The House Speaker, he came out last night. Find this for me if you can. The House Speaker came out last night and basically criticizing Democrats, saying he was like, why, I'm so disappointed that Democrats didn't vote for it. But Republicans didn't vote for it overwhelmingly. What? That's how you know folks are playing politics. If you find that soundbite, guys, tell us. It is Mike Johnson who comes out, I'm very disappointed in the Democrats. The Democrats did. It's like, wait, what? Why is it always the Democrats' fault? You guys are the ones that are in disarray. You guys, and why is it up to the Democrats to save? You guys are the ones. You are the House Speaker. You're in charge, at least for now, for this part of it, and you're blaming the Democrats? Obviously, he's not saying TGIF because it's been an absolutely disastrous week for the House Speaker, President-elect Donald Trump, and Republicans on Capitol Hill. Look, it got so bad during the meeting with lawmakers at his office on Thursday that Johnson said if anyone else can get 218 votes, God bless them. That's according to 3 lawmakers present. You know the federal government is going to shut down at midnight, y'all. House Republican leadership as divided, backbiting, leak-obsessed as they have ever been. It has to figure out how they're going to keep federal employees on the job. Happy birthday to Midas Dwight. Beth Bear is saying that in the chat. Johnson's Trump endorsed Plan B funding and debt limit bill failed miserably on the House floor on Thursday night. 38 Republicans ignored Trump and Johnson's wishes and voted against the bill, showing the limits of both men's power in the House. All but 2 Democrats voted no. Marcy Kaptur, a Democrat from Ohio, voted present. Is this a Democrat's fault, guys? You think it's a Democrat's fault? Considering the House Speaker is a Republican. That means they have the majority, though, although it be slight. A slight majority. I'm going to show you, I'm going to play the House Speaker in a little bit, but I think this is from Representative Summer Lee that breaks down the situation. It's about 3 minutes long. Summer Lee, obviously, Representative Summer Lee is there, knows what's going on, can break down the situation. And then let's talk, shall we? I wish I had some coffee. I don't have any, but here it is.
All right, so I just got off the House floor after voting down this half-baked, one-sided budget bill. Let's talk about how we got here. First, you gotta know, Democrats and Republicans agreed on a bipartisan budget deal to keep the government open. Then President Musk and his empty suit Donald Trump decided they wanted to shut the government down for fun. So now, to shield themselves from blame, House Republicans have abandoned that agreement and rushed through a one-sided last-minute bill. This partisan package isn't about protecting working families at all. It's about paving the way for tax cuts for the wealthy, is gutting Social Security and Medicare, and slashing critical programs like drug price reforms and cancer research. It excludes measures that hold powerful PBMs accountable for their prescription drug price gouging, tackle junk fees, and reauthorize and re-strengthen programs that serve our most vulnerable seniors and children and workers. Republicans are not serious about coming together to an agreement that keeps the government open and serves the people. They want a shutdown. And let me tell you what that'll actually mean.
She's saying that they want a shutdown. They do want a shutdown because that's what they said. They said, if you don't vote for this bill, you should be voted out. And obviously they want a government shutdown because they're what? They're shutting the government down. They're willing to do it because it's only 12 hours away. Okay. So Summer Lee is trying to explain. Now, you heard yesterday on the program with Vivek Ramaswamy, who is, part of he just sort of glommed on to what Elon Musk said and what Donald Trump said. Say, yeah, this is why I read the bill. It's 1,500 pages. They don't want you in there. And I know what's in there. And he's explaining things that he's explaining, that sort of procedural pro forma things that happen every single time, every year, because that's how you get business done. You have to bring up salaries. You have to bring up all these things because that's when they get renewed at the end of the year. So you can start. Remember, you got to start the year fresh with a brand new Congress, right? It'll go from the 114th or whatever to the 115th, the 115th to the 116th. And so then you have to renew all of that stuff. And then he's saying, I can't believe all the stuff that's in there. Well, this normal stuff that's in there that they negotiate. So if you don't like the pay raise or the health care, whatever it is that's in the bill, then you say, well, let's negotiate what's in the bill. Not they've got to take it out. We're not doing this. Some people, are just bad at governing, which are Republicans. Republicans are bad at governing. They're good at politics. They're good at messaging. They're good at certain things. They are just really, really bad at governing. They don't govern very well. Anytime there's a Republican administration, it is a shit show. Every single time. You know why? Mainly because a lot of it has to do with the Freedom Caucus. So sort of normal, rational politicians, everyday folks, they will, understand, well, this is to go into the bill. We have to do this. We've got to do that. And the Freedom Caucus goes, no, we have to have our ultra conservative agenda or it's not going to happen. That's why almost every time in this process, or many times, I shouldn't say almost every time, many times in this process, they end up losing the speakership because of it, because they won't go with this crazy ultra conservative Freedom Caucus that is pushing together this whole Project 2024 thing, right? They won't do it. Okay. So I'm hearing myself. I wonder if it's on my phone. So they end up losing their speakership. They end up losing sort of control of whatever it is that can be done in Washington, D.C., and there you have it. It is a shit show. Let's continue on with Summerlee. And she's speaking the truth. A lot of these things that they do need, but the folks who are in charge just somehow don't understand it.
There's a lot of disinformation out there, especially on Twitter X. A shutdown would have sweeping implications on everything from food on the table to safe holiday travel. In PA 12, almost 10,000 federal workers will be furloughed or forced to work without pay. And these aren't just like faceless government employees. There are neighbors. They're the ones who are making sure that our grandparents get their Social Security checks and veterans can access their health care and families can get housing assistance. Heading into the holidays, they're being asked to keep everything running without a paycheck. Over 10,000 people in our district, 2,200 of them babies, would lose access to WIC benefits if this shutdown drags on. These kids would be without food, and these families are wondering how they pay for a formula. Thinking about holiday travel, air traffic controllers and TSA agents would still be working, but without pay. That means workers would be calling off, which would lead to longer lines, more delays, and a whole lot less security. A shutdown means families could miss out on being together during the holidays. And Republicans delay government funding. Communities that were still recovering from the hurricanes and floods would be left to fend for themselves in the middle of a crisis. But here is, Elon Musk and Donald Trump spreading disinformation. He says a shutdown doesn't actually stop critical functions. And that's easy to say when you're worth $400 billion and you don't have to worry about missing a paycheck. Musk claims they're also ridiculous.
So here's the thing. When we talk about the folks who are in charge of the government, she brings up a very good point about all of the billionaires and very rich people who are who Donald Trump has tapped to be part of his administration, or at least his advisory council, whether they are official or not official, the folks who helped to get him into office. A lot of them are people, and I relate to the everyday people. I'm going to bring down grocery prices. Then he says he can't bring them down. I'm going to bring down gas prices. Then he says he can't bring them down. I'm going to bring down interest rates. The Fed said that they're slowing back on dropping the interest. So you were bamboozled, people. You were bamboozled. And she brings up a really good point about people who can't really relate. If you have billions of dollars, remember the people who are in charge of Doge have billions of dollars. Vivek Ramaswamy is a billionaire. Elon Musk obviously is a billionaire. Others around Donald Trump, they're billionaires. Donald Trump claims to be a billionaire. Do you think that they can relate? Do you think? I want to know. I'm going to read your comments this morning because I want to know what you guys think about this. They are messing around with you. When they talked about people who are on government assistance, a lot of people are having trouble right now. A lot of people of all different backgrounds. Poor folks are having issues right now. They said that during the campaign, but somehow those issues don't matter now. Don't matter now. Let's go on.
Former bill didn't fund a bioweapons lab. It funded pandemic preparedness. And there wasn't $3 billion for a stadium. It was just a transfer of control for a DC site. And no, the bill didn't shield January 6th committee. It's about data rules. Musk's goals are obvious. It's to distract you from the real harm that this shutdown will cause. These budgets are moral documents. They show who our government values. And let me tell you this, no billionaire has ever fought for working families. Not Carnegie, not Frick, definitely not Musk or Trump. So it's up to us to fight. Keeping the government open, and yes, passing a bill that actually has within it money, funding for the services that we need is what we need to do right now. We cannot allow billionaires to distract us. We have to focus on what matters, ensuring that normal working class people have real representation in Congress rather than fulfilling the Trump oligarchy pet political project. And let's keep it 100. This is what an oligarchy looks like. This is why Elon Musk bought Twitter. This is why all of the things that we've been seeing have been building to this moment. Let's not fall for it.
Okay, look, I can't speak to why anyone bought Twitter or any of those things. Those are her words. But I do say that social media sites obviously had a huge influence on the election and on politics. And as she is saying, yes, we all can attest to social media. There's a lot of disinformation, a lot of falsities that happens on social media. And she is saying, she's positing that I think she believes on Twitter that their people are deliberately putting misinformation on Twitter. I think she's accusing Elon Musk of doing it. I don't know exactly. I didn't really hear it. But again, that's what she's saying. The poll that's up says, will the government shut down tonight? I think it will shut down tonight. Will the government shut down tonight? Yes, and it's the Republicans' fault. Yes, and it's Democrats' fault. Yes, and it's everyone's fault. No, it will not shut down. I would not be so sure about that, y'all. 77% of you said yes, and it's the Republicans' fault. Yes, and it's the Democrats' fault. 0% say that. Yes, and it's everyone's fault, says 9%. 14% say no, it will not shut down. I don't know about that, you guys. This is different. This one hits different. Never before have you had this sort of influence from people who are not even in the government or not even elected officials. A lot of people are afraid of the social media folks, the Twitter trolls, the Twitter crowd, the Twitter army. That's a better way of putting it. A lot of people are afraid of that. Someone goes on there and says, do not vote for this, or you're going to be voted out if you vote for it. That's problematic. Yes, social media affects so much, and not in a good way, says Linda Furker. Absolutely. By the way, if you're joining us this morning, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure if you're joining us on TikTok, smash the screen, the hearts. And we appreciate you supporting us. We appreciate you subscribing to our content and following us on all the sites. And we're live on all the different sites. So thank you so much. Like and subscribe, as they say. It affects the algorithm. More people get to join us. More people get to hear and see our content and become part of the conversation and part of the elimination. And they'll also get an update on Gus. Guys, they haven't even taken office yet. How are you feeling about this? It's not even taken, they haven't taken office yet. These people, as my grandma would say, these people are something else. Do you actually think they're doing it a better poll? As we have a poll up now. Do you think they really care about you? Or do you think they care about themselves? Do you think they care about the spotlight? Do you think they really care about you? Reith H says these billionaires say anything to us because they think that we're gullible. I agree with you, Asaf. This is so scary. It really is. It's scary if you're sitting at home and you're getting a paycheck, right? You're in a warm, comfy place. I think it will shut down over the weekend, and then they'll come up with something raggedy on Monday, says Multicrafter 100. And there you go, Multicrafter. You're so smart. They'll have to stay late. They'll have to scramble. They won't be able to go home for the recess. They're going to do something. Well, they're going to want to go home, so they're going to want to come up with something. But think about it. I'll tell you why this one hits different. Number one, we've got people who have a huge amount of power, and they've got a huge amount of power, and they're not elected officials, and people are paying attention to what they say. No, will not shut down. Last minute passage for a deal. Who says that? Last minute passage for a deal. It will not shut down. Well, yes, it will shut down, and it's the Republicans' fault. So it's different because I agreed. It's not looking good. It says go party time. Yeah. And also, Democrats have no incentive to help here because it's not going to look bad on the Democrats if they vote against it, because they'll say, this is what you wanted. You built this. You break it, you buy it. You bought it, you break it, you buy it. That's what they're going to say. There's no incentive for Democrats to help this time. They don't have a Democratic president going in on the other side. It's everything is the Republicans going to control everything. So why would they care? I'm telling you, this will probably get ugly. And the sad thing is that it will get ugly and there won't be any fix for it because the Democrats have no incentive and because the Democrats are the ones who are trying to keep our democracy intact right now. I don't think they're doing a great job at it, but that's why they're going to go, they want Republicans. Honestly, I believe they want Republicans to fail. I don't think they want the country to fail, but I think they're like, you guys want to go outside of the Congress and outside of Washington, and you don't want to deal with politics in the way that it's supposed to be dealt with through a bipartisan fashion. You don't want to consult us on these issues. You want to consult people who are not elected officials and the MAGA cult leader, then go and do it. I probably would feel the same way. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Do you think lawmakers truly care about you? Definitely, probably not. Definitely 2 people say, probably 5 say, probably not 26, and overwhelmingly 67% of you said definitely not. Then why do you stand for that? Nick Hawks, or someone in the comments says FAFO. Yeah, Nick Hawks, and to Linda. F around and find out. Chad Billington, hell no, lawmakers don't care about us. This is what America voted for. That's right, Asa. This is what America voted for. You voted, so let them have it. Senator Elizabeth Warren she's talking about Elon Musk running the GOP. Here it is.
Who Senator Schumer should be calling and negotiating with at this point? Is it Speaker Mike Johnson? Is it Donald Trump? Is it Elon Musk?
Let me say this one more time. There is no one for Leader Schumer to negotiate with. The Republicans can't get their own act together. And until they can, there's nothing for us to do. We have a deal. There's a deal sitting on the table. You know what? The Republicans right now could go back over there and vote, send the deal that had been negotiated, which would pass because it would have bipartisan support, send it over to the Senate. I predict it would pass the Senate and we would be done. Crisis averted. But the Republicans would rather have a crisis, would rather blow this up because they're all doing whatever the great and powerful Mr. Musk wants them to do.
Do you think there's going to be a government shutdown?
Ask Elon Musk.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, we'll see if he joins us out here on the balcony. Thank you for that.
There you go. Government shutdown. Elizabeth Warren. Again, she's right. They could do it, but she called it all great and powerful. Here's Elizabeth Warren on the government shutdown again.
And this is on them. And it really is the reminder who now runs the Republican Party. And it's Musk. He's the one who started tweeting at 4:30 this morning about what a bad deal this was and how terrible it was. And Donald Trump trails along much, much later and says, yeah, terrible deal. And then Donald Trump is the one who says, you know, maybe we should get rid of the debt ceiling altogether. But is that what the Republicans propose? No. What the Republicans say is, let's just do a little period of time of getting rid of it, long enough to be able to grease the skids, to be able to pass a big, big tax giveaway to billionaires.
So you don't think...
Well, that's what she says has happened. She believes that it is billionaires. Look, this is right up Elizabeth Warren's alley. This is what Elizabeth Warren, actually, Elizabeth Warren has been warning people about this for a long time. Am I wrong? I mean, you could be for or against Elizabeth Warren. I'm not sure where you stand on her, but you got to give it to her. She's been consistent on this. She's been saying that she's been calling our government officials, and especially those in the Republican Party, sort of the corporate folks in America, the corporate bros, so to speak. She's been calling them the robber barons for a long time, that they're robbing from the poor to give to the rich. She has been consistent. Midas Dwight, your birthday today. Happy birthday. Midas Dwight says she nailed it. Chris Olson says, I believe her. Multicrafter says she is right. Yes, she has been, says Maria Maniscolo. She's been pretty consistent on this. I think they all could have done more in governing. They could have done more in trying to codify, Roe v. Wade and all those things. They could have been stronger on trying to get the John Lewis, the Civil Rights Act enhancement, right? A lot of would have. Just saying, but at least she's been consistent on that. A lot of these politicians are really going after Elon Musk. Jonah Goldberg says Musk is running the GOP. We have Jonah Goldberg running the GOP.
There's a long tradition of some Republicans thinking this time it'll work for us, right? And it virtually never does. I think sort of the interesting political story to me here is that this is the first time in the Trump era where Elon Musk, whether you want to call him President Musk or all that kind of stuff, I mean, the trolling is smart from Democrats, but it kind of misses the point. This is the first time that Donald Trump has been out-populisted, out-MAGA'd by somebody else. Musk grabbed the spotlight on social media. He drove the agenda with Trump's base in a way that has never happened before. Marjorie Taylor Greene couldn't do that. Matt Gaetz couldn't do that. None of them could do that. All of their power derived from Trump. Even Tucker couldn't do that. This is the first time somebody has said, shine the spotlight on me, I'm driving the agenda, and it worked. And I can't imagine Trump is going to love that.
That's a
So there you go. Trump, can't imagine that Trump is going to love that. And look, I think these people have read it all wrong. I'm sorry, Jonah Goldberg. I think that you're wrong about that. I think that Elon Musk is a very powerful person, a very consequential person to the country, as I have said, with space, with electric cars, batteries, all that stuff, right? Donald Trump is not going to like sharing the spotlight with him, but I believe he's going to have to because there's so much money there. And Donald Trump loves to cozy up to rich people and money. And also there's influence on social media. Twitter is way, way, way bigger than Truth Social. And there are hundreds of billions of dollars as an incentive for Donald Trump not to revolt. Hundreds of millions of dollars not to revolt, but to stay cozied up to that money and that power. Because remember, that is what is first for him. Politicians must be resentful that Musk just swooped in. Maybe they are. I'm sure the Democrats are. I don't know if the Republicans are, James Brim. I wonder if there are any Trump supporters or any MAGA folks in the chat here. Perhaps there are. Money speaks, as Chris Olson. It's true. It's true. This is what is happening now. According to Democrats and Republicans, someone asked, Musk and Vance driving Trump. Even the cartoonists are getting in on the action. Even the cartoonists are getting in on the action. So cute. He thinks he's steering. Is Donald Trump going to like that? Because he's how kids are in the back seat and they think that they're steering. That's a lot, man. I gotta tell you. That's a lot. I gotta tell you. I don't know. That's going to be tough for Donald Trump. He's going to want to come out and exert his manhood and his power. Story and soul gardening. Thank you. Amazing. Story and soul. We appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So he thinks that he's steering. Here's the thing, though, before I get to all of that, because I said I was going to play the House Speaker coming out and blaming the Democrats, and then I'm going to show you about the whole steering thing and why they're, and now some people are leaning into that. But after all of this, this is how you know these people aren't serious. This is how you know that Mike Johnson is in a bad place. This is Mike Johnson after this failed, coming out last night. This is what he said.
Disappointing to us that all but 2 Democrats voted against aid to farmers and ranchers, against disaster relief, against all these bipartisan measures that had already been negotiated and decided upon. Again, the only difference on this legislation was that we would push the debt ceiling to January of 2027. I want you all to remember that it was just last spring that the same Democrats berated Republicans and said that it was irresponsible to hold the debt limit, the debt ceiling hostage. What changed? It is, I think, really irresponsible for us to risk a shutdown over these issues on things that they have already agreed upon. I think you need to be asking them the questions about that.
What's the next step?
We will regroup and we will come up with another solution, so stay tuned.
Will you drop the debt limit?
Okay, so-
Will you drop the debt limit?
Democrats, he said it is, he's upset because Democrats voted against it. The final tally was 174 in favor, 235 against, and 1 present. That means dozens of Republicans voted against the measure. Mike Johnson. They always have to make it about politics and about left versus right because he's trying to, I guess, bamboozle the average everyday American and blame it on Democrats and say, okay, Democrats, okay, Republicans, okay, MAGA folks, don't kick me out. It's really the Democrats' fault, and I can't do anything about the Democrats. What about the Republicans who didn't support you? 38 GOP said no. 38. So what about them? What about them? That's 24 plus. Almost 36 Republicans that voted against. That's a lot of Republicans. What is forcing Republicans who are afraid of MAGA and afraid of the outside influence of non-elected officials in politics? So can you imagine what it would have to take for those Republicans to vote against? Gaslighting. You guys, people fall for it all the time. It's Democrats that they're doing it. It's the Democrats. What about the Republicans, buddy? What about the Republicans? Now, as I say that, Senator Mike Lee would like at least 2 of those non-elected officials that none of you voted for, nobody voted for. He would like for them to be the Speaker of the House. Here it is.
2 people in our entire caucus in the Senate and in the House.
So you're officially nominating right here on Jesse Watters Primetime either Vivek or Elon to be House Speaker. Doesn't have to be a politician, could be anyone, can be Speaker. Do they want that job?
I don't know. Look, I'm a little bit skeptical. Elon is kind of busy. He's got like 54 companies that he's running,
right,
and trying to get to the moon. I suspect Vivek is a little bit more open to it than Elon. I'll take either one of them. Vivek, Elon, if you're watching, please sign up. America needs you.
All right. Well,
Yeah. So I don't know if that, I think that they're serious about it. I said it was tongue in cheek, but I actually think that they're serious about it. I really do believe that. I'm not sure if it's even possible for Musk to do it. I don't know if the conflict of interest then he'd have to give up all the other things, the government contracts, blah, 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 blah. Also, he's not a U.S. born citizen. He can't be president, but, and the speaker is in line. So there's a whole thing there. I'd have to do some research. Representative Nancy Mace. I understand Fox News was not happy with her. Watch.
Vote on the foreign aid. Let's vote on farm and agriculture. Let's vote on spending in the CR. Let's do it separately.
Okay.
This would have been a lot easier.
Right. I mean, but what have you guys been doing then for the last 85 days?
It's a great question. I've been filing a lot of bills legislatively.
No, but who's in control? Republicans have the House, right? So what has the Republican Party been doing for the last 85 days if they leave this to the last second and they can't even?
So here, this is what Nancy Mace has been doing. And you guys know how I've been telling you every day. This is what Nancy Mace has been doing. Nancy Mace has been out there. I'm fighting for you and your bathroom rights. Oh, hold on. Let me fix my hair. Okay. Now here, send that tweet out. That's what Nancy Mace has been doing. Boy, wow. Do I kind of agree with Jesse Waters? Shocking. You haven't been doing shit. But posing in front of a camera and going on cable news, what have you been doing? Why are you here on my show? Why aren't you there trying to work it out? What are you doing? Why are you here? You had to go to hair and makeup. That took time. You had to get to the set. That took time. You had to get the microphone and the camera, all of that adjusted. That took time. You could have been working on this. Loves the camera. That's what she's doing. Keep going.
Been doing for the last 85 days if they leave this to the last second and they can't even agree on it?
That's a good question.
This is what Washington always does. We've seen this movie before.
She's Washington.
It's kind of like Groundhog Day.
All right. So you do the same thing every time.
She's Washington. I love it when people tell on themselves. She's telling on herself right there. What are you doing, Nancy Mace? Well, this is what they do every single time. She's saying they as if she is not part of they. She's not part of Washington. What? Nancy Mace, what? You're kidding me, right? That's what she's saying. Let's see. House GOP Speaker cycle. Let's see what that is. What is that? Let's put that up. The House. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a spin cycle. Because of the Freedom Caucus. That's what it is. So this is what happens. Speaker has to back down on promises to hardliners. Hardliners revolt. New speaker chosen after appeasing hardliners. Speaker has to answer to whole caucus. Then the speaker has to back down on. There you go. That's it. 100%. That's how it works for Republicans. That's why I say they can't govern. Look at all those speakers. Look at John Boehner over there, Paul Ryan, Kevin McCarthy, and now Mike Johnson. That is the lifespan and a life cycle, or if you want to say the spin cycle, of a GOP House Speaker. Can't govern. Really because of the Freedom Caucus, because of the hardliners there. We'll see what happens. I think the producers have something else up that they wanted me to put up. Let us see. You have something from Jake Sherman that you want to put up. Is that correct or no? And perhaps it's something that they can't make this work without Democrats. I don't know. Producers, I have no idea what that means. If you guys want to put it up or let me know. What is that? Are you guys sending me something that I need to know about?
Yeah, I have it here. It's this tweet. Basically what it's saying, it's just suggesting that Johnson's accepted that he really can't make this work without Democrats.
Oh, okay. I got it. Hakeem Jeffries told the Democratic caucus that the lines of communication have been reopened. Is that right? Hakeem Jeffries? I would imagine that's it. So they cannot. So he told them they cannot make it work without Democrats. So now he is going back to the Democrats and saying, help, please. Should they help? I don't know. That might be like, yeah. I'm in the grocery store trying to get some groceries before I could go home for Christmas for my wife. I think that's how I would be. I think I'd be like, oh, hey, sorry, I missed. Hi, this is hi, this is Hakeem Jeffries. Sorry, I missed your call. Leave a message and I'll get right back to you. Beep. Text me. Text me. Do not disturb is on. Messages are silent for Hakeem Jeffries. Notify anyway. Sorry. Get back to me in 2025. Should the Democrats help Mike Johnson? I don't know, guys. I'm feeling a certain kind of way. I'm minding my own black business. I'm continuing with my own black job and minding my own black business. New phone. Who dis? Who said that? T. Thompson. New phone. Who dis? Exactly. 100%. Or I think I would be like, sorry, I can't take your call. Leave a message. New phone. Who dis? We as a country need to hit rock bottom, says Linda S. I don't know. I mean, look, I feel bad about folks who are not being, sorry, I'm laughing. I feel bad about people who, are not going to be able to get a paycheck, the workers that will be out there not working, but Republicans brought this on themselves. It's their own fault. And in an odd way, I do agree with Jesse Waters. What have you guys been doing for the last 85 days? What have you been doing? Huh? Besides jumping in front of cameras, talking about shit that does anybody in this country care about the fucking bathrooms in Congress and who's going and what transgender person might go and might not go? That's what Nancy Mace has been doing. And Jesse Waters would not ask her about that. That's what I would say. What have you been doing, Nancy Mace? Well, you've been focusing on these divisive bathroom bill issues and among other things, and jumping on cable news, calling out Democrats and talking about Democrats. What actual work have you done? You said you've been proposing a lot of bills and has it gotten through? What are they? You've been proposing these bills about bathrooms. That's not even in this continuing resolution and has nothing to do with the American people. It only has to do with making you more famous. So what have you been doing? What have you been doing? A paycheck and Social Security check is more important, says Maureen Marfell. You're 100% right. So what have you been doing? 100% right to ask that. And they haven't been. This guy, I'm just going to tell you, I have all these notes. This does not look good, everyone. I'm just telling you. May end up with a shutdown. I know you don't want to hear that, but I think you're going to end up, they're going to try to do something, but it may end up with a shutdown. Okay. That is the news as it relates to this country. Those are the people you voted for. You voted them in. That's what they voted for in November, on November 5th of this year. Let them have it. That's why I said, mind your business. Do what you can on your local level. Don't be inundated with all of the little back and forths. What can you do about it at this point? Dems should vote for the original bill, says August to Winter. Well, that's exactly what Elizabeth Warren said. If they put the original bill back, that's what they'll say. Do it. Let them have it. Mind your business. It's Friday. You got to get your Christmas stuff. Get your Christmas gifts in order. Go do some shopping. Go do some grocery shopping. Go buy some groceries. Or as we used to say, anybody from down south, we used to say when I was growing up, we got to go make some groceries. We're going to make groceries. Do you get anybody say that? Go make your groceries. Go do your thing. And put it in the comment if you have. I want to talk about this before we just over-index on this whole shutdown thing, because there's going to be lots to come. There's a legal case against Luigi Mangione that expanded on Thursday. Federal government filing 4 criminal charges against him, including 1 punishable by death, which is interesting because I thought the death penalty went away in New York City. Anyway, 1 is punishable by death. Mr. Mangione is accused of killing United Health CEO Brian Thompson earlier this month, arrived by helicopter in Manhattan. in the afternoon after being extradited from Pennsylvania. During the hearing on Thursday in New York, Mr. Mangione sat between his two lawyers, Karen Friedman Agnifilo and her husband, Mark Agnifilo, who also is representing rapper Sean Diddy Combs in his sex trafficking case. Ms. Agnifilo told the court that the overlap in cases and a murder charge against Mr. Mangione makes him eligible for the death penalty. It was confusing and highly unusual. I've never seen anything like what is happening here in 30 years of practicing law, she said. They're making this young man a martyr unwittingly. Maybe they think they're just being tough because they don't want people going after CEOs, which is understandable. But they're making him more famous. They're making him more of a martyr, and they're making him more relatable to the American people because they're going to feel that they're overcharging him as the system does. This is him arriving in New York City yesterday via helicopter.
Over the rotors of the helicopter. Talk to us about what you're seeing now and just the scale of the law enforcement presence there.
Yeah, like I said, I've never seen anything like this, Boris, to be quite honest with you. There are just law enforcement from so many levels here, and it's very clear, as you just saw, that walk from the helicopter all the way down that pier to that Sprinter van, which he just got into, while he's shackled. They clearly want the photo opportunity to show what they believe they got their guy. I mean, that's what it really feels like, because that was like a long perp walk, as we would call it in the news industry. And now we're told in that Sprinter van he will travel to a federal building where he will be federally processed.
Okay. Wow, that was a lot. Do they have to do all that? I mean, it was like the OJ Bronco chase following him. I'm telling you, they're making this man into an even bigger celebrity, even more defiant. The walk of shame, said Luigi, Linda Furker. Listen, I got to tell you, it's not for many, many Americans. It's not a walk of shame. It's a walk of fame. It's a walk of fame that they have him. Now, if they had, and they're surrounded, what is he going to do? They have all these big guns, whatever. What is he going to do? Run? Are they going to shoot him for something? Now, I can see if they're protecting him from being, an assassination attempt on him. Well, I don't understand with this big show of some kid. This is odd. We don't even look, you guys have to, don't you think it's odd? That's a lot of manpower, firepower, posturing. That's a lot. They didn't have to do that. They didn't even have to tell him when he was coming back. They could have taken him through underground. They're protecting Luigi, says Linda Furker. Yes, but they didn't have to bring him out in the public. They could. You don't have to do all that. Crazy. What is going on? This is a photo of him, I believe. I'm not sure exactly what the photo is. I'm not sure if it's a perp or whatever. There it is. Look at that. It looks like a movie, doesn't it? Something that you would see in the movie. The guy with the sunglasses. Late contender for hardest image of the year. So weird. What are they doing? Huh. Check, just to show you, this doesn't mean that I agree. It's a spectacle in the making of making an example, says John Brady. Yeah. But look, I don't agree with what he did, but I understand the sentiment around from Americans about the health system, especially the health insurance system in this country. The other thing is they could have done it overnight. Yeah, Maria Maniscalco. Thank you, Marie Maniscalco. Wait, Maniscalco. Sorry about that. Would they do this? The average Joe, if the average Joe is gunned down on the street, I'll answer. No, says Jay Palmer. Correct. As I said, they're making a martyr out of him and making him into a star. This is his hometown pizzeria, a picture. I'm just telling you. They are calling him Saint Luigi. Spotted in Luigi Mangione's hometown of Townsend, Baltimore County, at a local pizza shop, Vito's. What do you guys think of that? As much as you may agree or whatever it is, agree or disagree or whatever, what do you think of that? Because that is what's happening. I tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth every single time. And that's what's happening here. They're making him into a martyr. They're making him into a saint. They think that they're showing like, oh, we're really strong when it comes to this. They haven't read the room. If they don't want any of this, what they should have done is what Maria Maniscalco says. Could have done it at night under the cover of darkness. They could have gone underground, could not have made such a big spectacle of it. Because remember, the people who support him are anti-system, as I've been saying to you. They're not necessarily Democrat or Republican or right versus left. They're anti-system, anti-the man, anti-institutions. And this is just reinforcing the power and what people are going to say is the unnecessary power of an institution, the unnecessarily handling of this man. Are the feds accidentally making Luigi Mangione into a martyr? That's the poll that we have up. And if I could vote on that poll, I can't vote on my own page, but I would say, yeah, they're making him into a martyr. They're making him into a martyr, and they don't even realize it. They think it's good. That's why people are so out of touch. As our government is out of touch, I think our law enforcement's out of touch too with people. I'm an Italian American, and it's shameful, says Dr. Joyce. So there you go. As we go into the weekend, I hope the government doesn't shut down. I hope our workers get paid, but I do not have faith in the system. I do not have faith in our lawmakers in Washington, D.C. It's going to be a you-know-what show. MSNBC said that he struck fear onto, oh, I missed that. Let me go see if I can back up on here. MSNBC said that he struck fear. I messed it up. I don't know where it is. It went away. Okay. Guys, have a great weekend if I don't see you. I love the live. Man, the engagement is great. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Linda Ferker. How is Gus Gus? The engagement is great. Please hit the thumbs up. Make sure you smash the screen, hit the hearts, whatever, and follow us on whatever platform you're following us on, okay? Make sure you follow us or you're watching us on. Follow us, subscribe, like, all of that. So Gus Gus was in, I told you he was in the hospital last night, and I guess the intensive care or whatever. And they had him in, the little oxygen tent, and they had like wires hooked up to him. I do not have a picture. I'm going to go after. I've got to do something, and then I'm going after this to see Gus Gus. And this is the update this morning. The update is from the hospital. Gus Gus is much more stable. He's coughing a little. The internal doctors will now work with him to drain fluid as much as they can. He is still on oxygen. And so we're going to get a call today around 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and we can visit him after that. Come on, Gus, 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 fighting back. Gus is a strong, I say, because Gus is 15, he'll be 16, right? And I want to throw Gus a sweet 16 in April for his birthday. So I say Gus Gus is a strong teenager. That's how I like to see Gus Gus. He is a 15 to 16-year-old teenager just coming into puberty and all of his strength. And so, yes, Gus Gus is much more stable, coughing a little. Internal doctors will work with him to drain fluid as much as they can. He is still on oxygen, and you should expect a call between 1 and 2 p.m., and then we can go visit Gus Gus after that. Do you guys want me to put pictures up of Gus Gus? Much love to Gus Gus. I hope he recovers soon. Thank you, Multicrafter. Thank you, Velma Scarborough. Love it. Go Gus Gus, says Twinkie 67. You guys are the best. Thank you, August de Winter. Yeah, Gus Gus. Gus Gus is a fighter, right? We're all going to put our prayers, our thoughts and prayers, everything up for Gus Gus. Don't you think he's going to be great? Yes, please. We'll put some pictures up. God bless Gus Gus. Let's see if I have a little picture of Gus Gus up here so I can show you. I don't know if I do. I don't know if my phone is going to cooperate. Let's see, Gus Gus. Let's see. Oh, I just have the pooch grooming thing of Gus Gus. I'll put up, I'm going to put up an old Christmas card of Gus Gus so you guys can see it. I'll show it to you. How do I do this? Let's see if I can do it on the screen because I already have something up on my screen. I wonder if I can airplay it. Can airplay. Let's see if it overtakes it. Oh, yes, it will. So there's Gus Gus. This is our Christmas card from a couple years ago. So there's Gus Gus right there at the beach. Gus Gus, Boomer, and Barkley. And so there he is right there. Tim's holding him right behind me. And that's our old station wagon that we still have. And oh, look, the wreath is on the front of the station wagon. All righty. So that's the update on Gus Gus. And Merry Christmas. I mean, I'll see you before then, but just the spirit of the season. And I'll let you know what's happening with Gus Gus. Okay. Bye, everybody. We'll see you later. We are thrilled to have you as one of our watchers. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button as well. And that way you can be notified about all of our new content. There's plenty of it for you. We're live every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop more videos at 2 p.m. Eastern and at 5 p.m. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon Nation, of the Lemon community. Members receive access to special community posts, exclusive content, and live shows. So just head right over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again,